Welcome back to the channel. On this video, let's review the two different approaches that exist for managing and developing project portfolio. So let's get right into it. All right, Sylvain Gauthier here, our executive producer. And what I want to do is to address one question that is coming more and more frequently these days. How do we tackle a project portfolio? Basically, a lot of organizations, they want to make sure that their investment in project right now is directly connected to their bottom line results or their business objective that they're committing in the field. We know economically, we're going to be facing some potential recession, some slowdown. Certain businesses are really challenged, like especially if you are in the airline industry, in the entertainment, in the tourist industry. So a lot of industry is going to go through a slowdown. So they got to make sure that everything they invest in terms of project has a contribution to their short-term results, or at least will be helping achieving certain goal that they set for themselves. So, and then the big question is, how do we tackle the portfolio? So let's take a look at how could we approach it. And there's two different ways, and I want to compare them side by side and give you an idea of how they work. Now, of course, we're not going to get into the detail of how to manage either way, but it's similar. It's just not the same approach to it. So let's start with the number one way, which is the most common way. If you are in the project management business, if you've been trained in project management and program management, you have a project office, you are probably familiar with the notion of portfolio, which is a lot what PMI is pushing. For those who don't know, we're talking about the Project Management Institute, which is a continuation of project and program, and you're putting it into a portfolio and you're tying this portfolio to a business objective. So again, as a definition, a portfolio contains program and project, individual project. And what we're trying to do is to make sure that we have a link directly to the results of the business. So this is the traditional way, and a lot of the times it's managed by project office or group of project. If you don't have a project office, it might be a functional leader that has got a lot of the project, and it will kind of do some grouping of these projects. So for example, let's say we have a cost reduction target, or we got a continuous improvement program. All program and project related to that will be grouped, and we will call that the portfolio continuous improvement, or the portfolio of cost reduction, or the portfolio of new product development. Okay, so it will be a regrouping coming from the project and connecting to whatever is the strategic objective. So this is pretty much a lot of the project office are set up this way. A lot of portfolio are set up this way. And it's in line quite a bit with the standard that PMI has, which is evolving, by the way. Okay, so that's one way to tackle that. The other way is what we call the business way. And what's the big difference? Is the portfolio are not necessarily integrated as part of the project management envelope. So that means what? That means, as you could see in the picture here, my portfolios are outside the environment of project management, which is basically means it's led by the business itself more than the project management group. So what we try to do on this one is, from the strategic objective, we name someone. So for example, let's say we need to cost reduce our fixed costs by X%. We name someone, and that person does not necessarily have a background in project or program management, but might have a good background in the business side, understanding how, for example, the numbers fits, might come from finance, it might come from manufacturing, but that person knows how project affect the results they're trying to get. And that person, the job of that person is to source project, program, wherever they are within the organization, and bring them under the portfolio. Okay, now it's a direct connection between a strategic objective, and we just going to be building the project we need in order to satisfy the business objective of that portfolio. So, and if we don't have enough, if I go and I see I'm going to a project office and they have one or two, and then other departments got one project that could fit, this one could fit, and there's not enough, well, you need to find new opportunity. You need to bring up new opportunity using different tools, in order to get you to get these potential savings. If it's a cost reduction, potential differentiator, if you're looking for creating a new products that's going to go feed a certain space. So things such as, it could be simple brainstorming, but it could be also a value analysis, value engineering. It could be continuous improvement like Kaizen and things like that. So all of these methods, will be tools that this portfolio manager could use in order to get more opportunity if there's not enough in the organization. Now, the big difference here is the portfolio on this side, the portfolio manager or the person in charge of the portfolio will be playing more a role of coach, support. It will be usually a senior person in program and project, knows how manage, and will be helping these guys to pretty much deliver the project, but does not necessarily have an accountability of delivering the business results. Just have an accountability of tying the results they get versus the business result, which is different, right? So for example, if we need a 10% cost reduction, current program and project is showing 7%, well, that person's saying, well, that's what we have. We have 7%, okay? And maybe people will say, go get some more, but typically that's, what they would do. They're not feeling the pressure of delivering the 10%. However, that portfolio manager here on this side has got the objective of 10%, is not going to get measured on how good it is to deliver project or program, will be measured on how they will deliver the 10%. That's all we care. That's all the measurement. And that's all the focus is that person is to go after the 10%. So that person will be able to really understand how the project and program right now are affecting the results, where is it affecting, and will be really obsessed about making sure the results are showing up, okay? Because that's the way they're going to get measured, and that's the way we're going to address that. Well, this one, the critics on this method, of connecting to without being there accountable is sometimes the focus is more to deliver the project and the program out of the portfolio and then leave it to the organization to go get the benefit. So for example, if I need a cost reduction, we have delivered it, but somehow the manufacturing or the operation needed to do some activities, review the processes, review the job description, do some layoff and things like that. Well, this is where the ends is for the portfolio. We transfer it to you. Good luck. Well, this one here will have a focus of making sure that this is happening too, because only when the results are there will be measured. So that's a big focus. That's why more and more we're building that kind of way of doing portfolio, which is becoming a tool for executive to make sure and assign someone, go and get me project to do that, okay? Versus tell me my project and program, how do they fit with my strategic objective that we have. So that being said, if we go a little bit further, if I look at systems today, right? Majority of system out there that if you're thinking of putting a full system that will be helping with your portfolio, basically connecting your project program with also, schedule management and time management, like Project Online, are pretty much bottom up, okay? The first version, which is, bringing everything up, we call that the bottom up version, which is a continuity of project and program, like I said. However, more and more systems now, like Primavera, for example, they are creating that different world of project portfolio management. They're getting the portfolio out of the environment of project and program management, but within the environment of the organization for resource, etc. So in this mode, okay, we're not saying you're creating a new way of doing project or a different path for doing project. The portfolio still need to work within the practice of project management in the organization with current ways of making decisions. If you have in terms of governance, if you have a committee or a group that is looking at project and decided which one we're going to do, the portfolio does not go around. Okay, portfolio signal this one and become a key stakeholder of these projects, and I want them. It will be there at the committee because this is contribute to our strategic objective. So this is the two paths right now that are going. I have to say that more and more we're going more to the strategic path, especially with the companies in crisis where they need, for example, cost reduction. They need rapidly to address certain strategic objective. Where they're suffering. We're going with that more than consolidating a view of where do we stand with our project program versus a different objective. That being said, leading us to the point is, organization-wise, you have to decide how you want to tackle that. Okay, I think it's still good to manage it bottom up, and it's still value out of that. However, if you really need a tool, strategic tool, and you are an executive and you're watching that, you need a strategic tool to go after certain results, and I want my focus there, it's better to have someone from your business to drive that and make it happen.